Objective Charlie 1.
How's it going, everybody? It's Scrapetown back with another video for you guys. I know it's been a while since my last post, but a lot of things have been going on that have get me very busy and tied up with other things. But more of that at the end of the video. I want to thank you guys to start out with for getting us all the way to 27 subscribers. It's crazy to me. I really appreciate it. I think my M4A5 video has gotten to 1,000 views, which is so cool. It's my first video to break over 1,000 views. I really appreciate it. And I want to thank you guys for sticking with me and sticking around and giving me all the crazy support you guys give me. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the SFAR-M GL, basically 2042's SFAR-H. SFAR-H on the Battlefield games have been iconic, some of the most fun guns in the use for their sound and also their reliability and usability. Particularly BF4's SFAR-H, that was the DMR, basically. That thing was so good, one of the best guns, best DMRs, really, in the whole game. The rate of fire of the SFAR makes it kind of difficult to use in all those situations, just because you'll lose to basically any other assault rifle in the whole game. But really, it makes you use the gun like a DMR, shooting people at a bit longer ranges, trying to one-tap or shoot small sprays at your target when they're farther away from you, 1 to 2 to 3 round bursts at longer targets. It's really the best way you'll win gunfights, in my opinion. So first, we're going to go into the damage stats of the gun. The SFAR has an RPM of 600 rounds per minute with everything but standard issue, which has 650. Its mag holds 20 rounds, obviously plus 1 in the chamber, so 20 rounds, 30 rounds, and 40 rounds, which I think everyone should be using the 40 rounds, no matter what in Battlefield. Just have as many bullets in there as you can fit. It has a partial reload time of 2.5 seconds and 3.7 seconds for full, which, in my opinion, feels extremely long in game. And we also have a recoil chart for you guys here as well. As you can see, that vertical recoil is pretty rough, and so is a horizontal recoil with this thing. So it's pretty difficult to control. You really just want to make sure you got attachments on that are going to negate that spray as much as possible. So the damage output of the gun, we're going to take a look at the ammunition types with the ranges that are involved. So the high power, which I think everyone should be using when it comes to this, 0 to 30 is 28 damage a shot, which is a 4-shot kill. And 30 to 50 is the same amount. 50 to 74 is 22, so that's a 5-shot kill, and 75 plus is still a 5-shot kill. So the gun is very strong at longer ranges for any assault rifle in the game. I think it probably leads damage-wise. For standard issue, it has that 28 from 0 to 30, and then but it drops down to 22 a little earlier than with the high power. We get the 30 to 50 meters. It does 22 damage. Same at 50 to 75. And only does 18 damage at 75 on. Armor piercing, I don't really think anybody should be using this kind of bullet. I don't think it's useful in this game at all. I don't really understand why it's in there. 22 damage for 0 to 30. 30 to 50 is 18, which is 6 shots to kill. And 50 to 74 is also 18. And then 15 damage at 75 meters on, which is just basically useless. The high power drum mag, that's what I use. That's what I think everybody should be using. Same damage type as the high power. But once again, it's 28, 28, 22, 22. I really think it's the only kind of ammo you should be using in the game. My personal gun loadout with this, I use the Ghost Hybrid for the top rail scope. I think that being able to switch between 1.5 to 4x is extremely useful for a gun like this. But also using the Fusion Hollow for game modes like Rush is really useful because a lot of your fighting is going to be either incredibly close quarters or even some indoor map. For the barrel, I use the muzzle brake just to help with general recoil. I also use the high power magazine, like I said before, and the underbarrel for this gun, I haven't really touched on this because it's probably the most frustrating thing about the gun is that it has a set grenade launcher underneath it. If you're running as anti-armor, it's pretty good because if you're running as Boris, let's just say, you can have his rocket launcher with 3 rockets, his turret that does damage to tanks, anti-tank grenades, and the grenade launcher all on anti-tank, and that could really mess up a tank by yourself if you're quick enough and if you're accurate enough with it. But against people, obviously, it's terrible. The grenade launcher Incendiary, I think, is the most useful against ground targets. If you hit somebody down with it, I'm pretty sure it's a one-shot or does a crazy amount of damage anyways. Very, very, very good for Rush game modes. You can just fire it onto the objective. That's basically what I do. If the objective gets armed and I think it's getting defused, I just fire Incendiary onto it. And the 40mm grenade launcher, like explosive round, is also very fun to use. Very satisfying to get a kill with it. Overall, when it comes to this gun, you just gotta work with how you think it runs the best. Personally, I run it like a DMR. I think that's the best way you can run it. It has decent range and good damage at those ranges, so like that is an understandable way to play with this gun. I just don't think that using like an 8x scope is really like understandable with that weapon. Really, I only think you're using like a sniper rifle with that kind of zoom, because you have the one-shot headshot possibility. Since the RPM is so low, it's very hard to win a CQB battle. You really just, like always I say, you gotta aim for the head, but that's just unrealistic sometimes. Well, not that it's unrealistic, it's just difficult sometimes. But that is the only way you're gonna win those CQB fights with that thing, because you're definitely not gonna out-damage any other gun, chest shot or leg shots. I think the gun is kind of a mid-tier weapon. It's pretty fun to use, like sound-wise and look-wise. It looks pretty beefy, looks kind of cool, but I don't know. I think the gun is kind of rough. The last two guns I've used, the AM-40 and the SFAR, have not been fun, personally. I think that they're both kind of the bottom of the barrel when it comes to SMGs in the game. I mean, I'm sorry, assault rifles in the game. But obviously that decision is up to you guys if you like it. I would give it a shot. It is fun to use. I don't really think there's any guns in the game that are just bad to use. I think this gun can be pretty fun if you get yourself in the mindset of how to use it and you know what you're getting into when you use it as well. So once again, I want to thank you guys so much for getting us all the way to 27 subscribers. It's crazy to think that we're all the way up to that. My new PC, I am really enjoying it, and I'm going to be recording my new games off of it, which I'm sure there's going to be a bit of a learning curve trying to use OBS and stuff like that. I used to do that back in the day. I tried to stream, you know, but, you know, I'm still learning it, so there will be a learning curve with that. I know there will be. However, though, using the PC, I'll be able to stream a lot more games for you guys, be able to make new videos about other stuff, and possibly make my editing skills a little bit better than it is now. If there's any games you guys want me to see, personally, I've been playing a bit of CS2. I have a lot of hours in OG and OG Counter-Strike, and I'm a big fan of CS2 right now. So also Tarkov, I enjoy it. Not very good at it, but I do enjoy playing it. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.